December 1st, 1997, a 14-year-old wrapped 2 shotguns and 2 rifles in a blanket and took them to Heath High School in West Paducah, Kentucky, passing them off as an art project he was working on. He also carried a loaded .22 caliber pistol. At school, he fired 8 rounds in quick succession at a youth prayer group. 5 people were hit, 3 died, 5 others were wounded, 2 critically. March 24th, 1998, 2 students ages 11 and 13 waited outside the Westside Middle School in Jonesboro, Arkansas, shooting ambush style from the woods. They killed a total of 5 people, another 10 were injured. May 21st, 1998, a 15-year-old drove his mother's Ford Explorer to Thurston High School in Springfield, Oregon, where he entered the cafeteria and began indiscriminately firing at students. 2 were killed and 25 others were injured. The day before the shooting, this boy had been expelled from Thurston High School for bringing in a firearm. On the day of that expulsion, he murdered his father and later that night his mother. April 20th, 1999, 2 high school seniors embarked on a planned massacre at their school, eventually killing 12 students and 1 teacher at Columbine High School in Jefferson County, Colorado. They also wounded 23 others before committing suicide. February 12th, 2012, shortly after school started, a 17-year-old fired 10 shots from a .22 caliber handgun in the cafeteria of Chardon High School in Chardon, Ohio, killing 3 students and paralyzing another. Witnesses said the shooter appeared to be targeting students who were sitting together at one table. An entry from the shooter's Facebook page dated 2 months earlier read, "Die, all of you." December 14th, 2012, a 22-year-old Adam Lanza fatally shot 20 children and 6 adult staff members at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Prior to driving to the school, Lanza shot and killed his mother at their home and later committed suicide by shooting himself. The incident was the deadliest mass shooting at high school or grade school in U.S. history, and the 2nd deadliest mass shooting by a single person in U.S. history. October 21st, 2013, a 12-year-old opened fire with a semi-automatic handgun at the basketball courts of Sparks Middle School in Sparks, Nevada, injuring 1 student in the shoulder. He then shot and killed a teacher who was trying to intervene, and another student who attempted to help the teacher. He later committed suicide. September 28th, 2016, a 14-year-old shot 3 students and a teacher at Townville Elementary School in Townville, South Carolina. The shooter's youngest victim died 3 days later. He was 6 years old. It was later discovered that the gunman had already shot and killed his father. February 14th, 2018, a 19-year-old former student whose behavior had led his expulsion began shooting students and staff members with a semi-automatic rifle at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Nicholas Cruz activated a fire alarm to create a crowd, then killed 17 people and wounded 14 others. Cruz later fled the scene by hiding his weapons and blending in with the crowd of fleeing students. May 18th, 2018, a 17-year-old student killed 10 people and wounded 14 others, including himself, with a shotgun and a .38 caliber revolver in an art room at Santa Fe High School in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Later, multiple IEDs, pressure cookers, Molotov cocktails, pipe bombs, propane tanks, and other homemade explosives were found around the school and in the parking lot. Though the shooter wasn't on the honor roll and the football team and had never been before in serious trouble, police investigation of his computer and cell phone uncovered plans for the attack and for his own death. 20 years after it was written, Bang Bang You're Dead still asks the question, what can we do to put an end to this list?
Who's there? Who is it? Who's there?
Why me?
Why me?
Why me?
Why me? Why'd you kill us, Josh?
Cry me a river. I feel like a swim.
I need an answer, Josh. Why me?
For the pleasure of seeing you drop. Okay?
Why me?
You sat next to him. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Why me? I don't even know you.
Wrong place, wrong time, loser.
Why me?
Why not you? World's overpopulated. I wanted to do my part.
Why'd you smile when you killed me?
I'm just a friendly guy.
We live on the same street.
Escape.
We used to make mud pies together when we were little kids.
Elite.
I taught you how to blow bubbles with chewing gum.
Control.
I came to your
Elite.
birthdays. You came to mine. When we were 11, you let me play war with you and the other boys because you
I like
liked
the
the way
way
I
you
died.
die.
Hope I didn't disappoint in the cafeteria this morning, Josh. Hope I died just right for you.
Perfect. Wish I could do it again.
Go on then. Shoot me again. Come on.
Bang!
Why her?
Why him?
Why them?
Why me? Why anybody, Josh?
It's simple math. My rifle holds 5 bullets. 5 bullets, 5 people.
The bullet that killed me pierced my parents' hearts too.
Pierce my brothers and sisters' hearts.
Pierce my friends' hearts.
Pierce the hearts of parents who send their kids to school. Your 5 bullets wounded hundreds.
Maybe thousands.
Wounds that bleed.
Wounds that bleed.
Wounds that never heal. Wounds unseen but no less real.
Thousands! Why?
Because it was more fun than dropping dudes in a video game.
All my life, I've been taught to forgive. That forgiveness is for the forgiver. But I just can't. Not until I know what's in your heart, Josh.
I don't need your forgiveness. I don't need anything from anybody. I got all I need right here. 3 hot meals a day and a cot. This whole thing will be off my record by the time I'm 18 anyway. Maybe I'll be out of here when I'm 21. Then, when I walk down the streets, people will look at me and whisper, "Don't mess with that dude."
That's not fair.
Not fair. Our bodies lie in coffins.
Not fair.
You don't even care.
Not fair.
Our bodies lie under the earth.
Not fair.
While you still breathe the air.
Not fair.
But you got yourselves a cozy little place, and you can't beat the rent.
This is your last chance for an honest answer, Josh.
You can't hurt me, you're dead.
We're gonna open you up.
Good luck.
Dissect you like a frog.
Pry open your heart.
Just for a start. Put you through the ringer.
We'll find your rhyme.
Your reason.
Not a fun
Go
time.
up one side. Down the other.
In your face.
Under your skin.
Crawling through your brain.
Like a worm in an apple. Last chance, Josh. Why?
You're all just a bad dream.
Sometimes bad dreams come true.
That's how it is in our world now.
Alone.
In the dark and silent.
Open this
We
door.
really need some answers,
Open it.
Josh.
What were you thinking?
Open up!
When you open up,
I'm claustrophobic!
But you got yourself a cozy little place.
and you can't beat the rent.
Please!
He said please.
I think he said please. He
Please!
definitely said please.
That will be your life.
Every hour.
Every minute.
In a word, hell. Without love.
Without decency.
Without comfort.
A king to
A
king.
cage that eats you alive every day. And vomits you out so it can eat you again.
And one day your cage will vomit you out in the street. Stupid.
Broken.
Bitter.
Friendless. Hopeless.
Mindless.
Soulless.
Some lawyer will get me off.
And how will you get a lawyer?
My parents
Your
will-
parents will what, Josh? Do you remember them?
A little.
A lot.
Not at all.
Say something, Josh. Your parents can't do anything for you, Josh, because your
I don't need my parents! The state will appoint me a lawyer, and I will be out.
If you survive the big house.
Piece of cake.
Yo, bad boy.
You talking to me?
You the new dude that offs 7 people?
Well, let's see. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7. Did you see me on the news?
We've all had our day on the news, bad boy. Tomorrow we're gonna see just how bad boy is.
What do you mean?
Well, you'll see what we mean, bad boy. We're gonna see how bad boy is without his rifle.
Oh, guard, guard! Somebody just made a threat! Guard, guard!
Nobody hears you, Josh.
You might as well call for your mommy.
Shut up!
Mommy, you have no
Shut up!
Even dead hears you, Josh. You will love your guards.
Bars protect you from them.
The walls close in.
Narrow your thoughts.
Squeezing your brain. Drive you insane.
As you remember the big wide world.
That you traded for a concrete coffin.
6 by 8.
Only the truth will set you free. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Court is now in session. Your Honor, the jury has reached a verdict.
The verdict already?
How
The
do you
trial?
plead?
I have the right to
My
remain
client
silent.
pleads guilty, Your Honor.
I didn't
The
say
court will
that.
now hear the prosecutor's opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, 7 dead bodies,
testify.
State your name and what you saw.
You're dead.
I'm Michael. I hardly even knew Josh. He was friends with my girl for like forever. That day, I got a letter in the mail. My football scholarship was denied from the college I wanted to get into. There was no way I could pay for college without a scholarship. I wanted to be alone with Emily and tell her because we were applying to the same college. But Josh was there. We had words. Things got hot. I don't remember if I pushed him or he pushed me, but I thought it was over and forgot until I saw him coming towards my table in the cafeteria.
I'm Katie. I wasn't even hungry. I wanted to spend my lunch in the library because I was a little shaky for the biology test. But Matt was shakier than me, and when he asked for my help, I couldn't say no because he's like a lost puppy when he asks for anything, and it's impossible to say no. I was explaining mitochondria when I saw Josh, dressed in camo, walking in like he was late for a dentist appointment. It was like when the roller coaster suddenly drops, and you feel weightless and sick and helpless. Then I saw he had a rifle.
I'm Matt. I didn't even know Josh. I saw kids mock and tease him. I thought, poor guy. You know how that is. Once they get in your case, there's not much you can do except suffer until they pick on someone else. To be honest, I thought it was a joke when he came into the cafeteria. I thought those theater people were at it again, advertising some dumb play. And then I thought, whoa, he's gonna get in trouble with the principal because that rifle looks so real. I can't believe they would allow that on school grounds. And then he aimed the rifle at Michael. And when fire came out of the barrel.
I'm Jessie. Emily told me that Michael and Josh had a pushing contest. She was so upset because she loved them both. She didn't know how to make peace between them. So when I saw Josh walk into the cafeteria, smiling a smile that wasn't really a smile, but I don't know, a taunt, a threat, a mask, a weapon. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I knew I should run, but my legs turned to stone, and I had to sit there. And I knew I should pray, but I couldn't even remember the words. All I could see was his smile as I waited for the bullet to rip through my body. I'm Emily. He pointed the rifle at me and called out my name. He wanted to make eye contact because it was so personal. I don't know why, but I thought of 5th grade when I found a tiny box of chocolates in my desk with a Valentine from Anonymous. But I knew it was from Josh because he forgot to take off the label and borrowed the money from me for the exact amount 2 days before. He's denied it ever since. I guess because we're more like brother and sister. We finish each other's sentences. A sadness poured over me like cement. The giver of chocolates was now pointing a rifle at me, and that's what happened. How did we get to this place? I didn't want to believe it. But it wasn't Josh behind his eyes. Something else took him over. Sort of darkness. And after I fell, and before I closed my eyes forever, I saw the oddest look on his face.
What kind of look?
The same look he had when he killed the buck.
What buck?
His first buck.
You weren't there. How could you know the face I made?
We know everything about you.
All your thoughts?
Feelings, memories,
Dreams.
all your deep, dark secrets.
How can you know all of that?
We're all in your head, Josh.
Psych! Tell me one fact about that day. One fact. One!
You and Grandpa drove up to the mountain in his old, red, dented truck with the cracked windshield and the uncomfortable seat coming out of the upholstery. Enough facts, Josh?
Okay, you saw the truck somewhere. Now tell me one thing Grandpa said. You can't tell me one thing Grandpa said.
Respect the animals. Don't take a shot unless you know it's sure. Do it quick, clean. You don't want the animal to suffer. Keep that safety on until you're ready to shoot.
Okay, anybody could guess that.
That old logging road is full of ruts.
You both bounce on the seat. You can't wait to shoot your new rifle.
Let's go, Josh.
You both get out of the truck.
Cold stings your face. You can see your breath.
You wish you dressed warmer.
Grandpa watches you load the rifle's magazine.
5 shiny bullets.
Show him the safety zone.
That boy.
You love this man.
He teaches you so many things about life.
You split up.
You walk for miles.
Your nose goes numb. Fingers go numb.
Toes go numb.
You wish you were still in your warm bed.
You wish you ate the oatmeal your mother begged you to eat.
And in the midst of your numbness, you have a profound philosophical thought.
Hunting
You
sucks.
lie on dry
You
leaves.
curl up and doze off.
You dream of venison on the grill.
Something wakes you up.
You hear a rustling of dry leaves. You don't
You
move.
feel a presence.
And then you see it.
Fuck.
Beautiful.
Magnificent. Strong.
Proud.
Keen.
Like a dream.
You're taken by its beauty.
Utterly taken by its feral beauty. Its hot breath making ghosts in the cold air.
Makes you forget you're hunting.
And then you notice the rifle in your hand.
But deep inside, you don't know if you can really pull the trigger.
The buck poses like a sublime statue. Your pulse quickens.
You raise your rifle.
Your hands
You
shake.
can't find the buck in the skull.
Hold your breath. Crosshairs under the buck's
The
shoulder.
moment of truth has come.
But this buck's beauty weakens you.
You don't see venison in its stew.
You don't see steaks and chops on a grill. You don't see a trophy mounted on the wall.
You see a beauty beyond words.
You want to shoot, but you don't want to kill.
So you make your face a
A
mask.
mask that hides your face.
A face that hides the pain.
Pain that eats your
A
heart.
heart.
Nobody knows.
You pull the trigger. Nothing happens.
Safety's still on.
You
You
panic.
flick the safety off.
Buck turns and runs like the wind.
You take aim.
Bam!
First shot misses.
Bam!
Second shot misses.
Bam! Third shot is
Bam! Shot misses.
Damn it, damn it!
Down on one knee.
Find the buck in the crosshairs. Your buck stops.
looks bad.
Makes a perfect target of itself.
You think, so beautiful.
So magnificent. So proud.
So strong.
All you want to be.
You want to shoot.
But you don't want to kill.
You have to shoot.
But you don't have to kill.
The war inside you has to end.
Buck goes down.
Tear across the field. You stand over your dying buck.
Its legs kick as if to run on air.
Its chest heaves.
Its blood spurts out.
Life runs out like a wind-up toy.
Battery dying.
Slowing.
Slowing.
Still dead.
Oh, man.
You hurt inside.
Throbbing pain.
You wish it was all a
Just
game.
hit stop. Just hit
To
reset.
make the buck come alive again.
That was the look on your face.
The look that loved the hunt.
I wish the buck could live again, but you can't unshoot the bullet.
You can't unkill.
Beautiful.
Magnificent.
Proud. Keen buck dying on the ground.
You watch its life run out.
I didn't know it would be like this. Control, Alt, Delete.
That
That was the look on your face.
Oh, man.
You almost let yourself weep.
But you hear a voice.
Josh, why 5 shots?
Grandpa comes out of breath.
He sees your dying buck.
He looks at you like no one's ever looked at you before. Like a man.
Somebody you always wanted to be.
12 feet tall.
Big.
Bigger than immense.
Gigantic.
Colossal.
Measureless.
Other hunters come out of the forest. They ask you to tell the story.
All the details.
And you feel as tall as the pines.
But as small as the moles deep underground.
Both at once. Pine tree tall and mole small.
Come on, Josh. Let's take a picture. Say, moment of glory.
So you make your face a mask.
A mask that hides your face.
A face that hides the pain.
Pain that eats your heart. Heart nobody knows.
That was the look on his face.
Where is this photo? I have your number.
Why is the photo ripped in half?
Tell them what happened in the cafeteria that day, Josh.
If you know everything about me, why don't you know that?
I want to hear you say it for yourself. The jury has reached a verdict, Your Honor.
You can't have a verdict already. You didn't hear the whole story. Where's my defense? Why don't you object?
What's the whole story, Josh?
Josh, where have you been all weekend?
Wait till you see this.
I left messages. You never answered.
Okay, don't go a muscle. My first buck.
Where's your half of baby diary?
I'm not quite finished yet. So Grandpa takes us down this old logging
Josh,
road.
the baby diary is due this afternoon.
Okay, I'll finish it at lunch. You didn't even look at my picture, my first buck.
I don't care about your first buck. I care about our green health class. Where's the baby?
Safe and sound.
Josh, when you have a kid, are you going to keep it in a backpack?
Kid, I can't even get a date.
Why is it so light?
I emptied the sugar out.
Josh, what?
I needed some for my cornflakes.
Oh, Josh.
I filled it with cotton balls. Much easier to carry.
The teacher is going to fail us if she ever does a spot check.
With all my books, I can't be lugging around 10 pounds of sugar all day.
How else are you going to learn about responsibility and care for a child?
It's not real, Emmer.
Lucky for you, because it would be child abuse and you would get arrested. Let me see what you wrote.
I'm not quite finished yet.
Let me see what you have.
Well, you see, it's all in my head. I just have to sit down and write it out from memory.
Josh, what did you have for lunch yesterday?
Lunch. I don't remember.
But you can remember all the details about our baby care for the past 2 weeks?
I was waiting for a big burst of inspiration.
You had a big burst of selfishness.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Wish I could just shut down and restart my conscience like that. I knew it was a mistake to have a baby with you.
Chill, Emmer. Everyone's looking.
Josh, you might not care about your grade. I care about mine.
Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Let's rock and roll.
Looks like I'm going to be stuck here for a while.
This is my only time off.
I know, but
Look, what happened?
we don't have our health assignment.
But last night you told me you finished it.
My half.
Oh.
Josh doesn't quite have his half.
Well, why don't you turn your half in and let him fail?
We're graded together because we have a, baby together. We really have to get this assignment done.
Well, how long will that take?
I don't know, like 2 hours?
More like half an hour.
This sucks.
I know, Michael, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize for him. He should be the one to say sorry. What's this?
Josh shot a buck this weekend. His first.
Josh, the big bad game hunter, had enough time to hunt, but not enough time to do the assignment.
My picture, please.
Oops. You ripped it, not me.
I was gonna get this enlarged and framed, but you ruined it!
It was an accident.
No, you wouldn't let go!
You pulled into our freak. Let him go! What kind of moves like him do to me?
That's what the fuck on!
What's that supposed to mean?
You better hope you never find out.
You know, Josh, you're a joke in this school. Just the joke. You two spend a little too much time together.
What do you see in him?
Let's just get this done.
I knew you first.
What?
Control, Alt, Delete.
No, what did you say?
It doesn't matter.
That's to me. Tell me.
I'm too ticked. I can't think straight.
Okay. Well, what you said was sweet.
Yeah, can I put that on my cornflakes? I can't believe he pushed me in front of the whole school.
I think he's a little jealous.
Everyone in the school is laughing at me.
They're not laughing at you, Josh.
And why are they looking at me?
Let's just get this done.
No, I'll do it on my own.
So you make your face a mask.
And that's the hides your face.
A face that hides the pain. A pain that eats your heart.
A heart nobody knows.
Somebody's gonna laugh one too many times.
Hey, are you going to stop and flick your switch?
Who said that?
You do nothing. You'll be your daily entertainment.
Who are you?
You've known who I am ever since the day you shot the buck.
What about it?
You cast a long shadow across the snow that day.
How do you know that?
You felt 12 feet tall.
How do you know that?
I know everything about you. I know what you know.
How can you know what I know? Who are you?
I'm you, and you are me.
I don't get it.
I am the long shadow you cast across the snow that day. But that long shadow is the shadow of a different you deep inside.
How different?
I'm you when the controller's in your hands, and your nimble finger stands over the buttons, switching from Glock to AK-47 to flamethrower, wiping out multitudes of enemies. That feeling of big,
Bigger than big.
immense,
Gigantic.
colossal.
Measureless.
Exactly.
Whoa.
At your service,
What do you mean?
whatever you want it to mean.
Okay.
How much longer can you take this abuse?
Like a negative second.
You have to do something about it.
I'm hoping they'll just get tired and find somebody else to pick on.
Please. That'll never happen. They're vampires. They want your blood every day.
I don't know what else to do.
I know how to stop it.
How?
Let's give them something to think about.
Like what?
Something big.
For example,
something that blows their minds.
Be specific.
I see an empty classroom. I see a blackboard crying for a message that shuts them up. Everybody in this class is dead meat.
Okay, people. Health class is canceled for today. This room is now officially a crime scene. If anyone knows anything about the Blackboard Phantom, it will be kept strictly confidential. Now go to the library and study quietly. Move those feet, let's go!
And who did you think was the Blackboard Phantom?
Objection, Your Honor. It's pure speculation.
Wow, you spoke up. I thought you died with your eyes open.
Overruled. Emily knew him best. While her feelings may not be factual, they may be relevant. I want to allow this.
I thought it was Josh. And why did you think Josh was the Blackboard Phantom?
He practically confessed to me.
Diary pages.
Josh, when did you do all this?
Since the school went into lockdown.
Guess the Blackboard Phantom did you a favor.
Blackboard Phantom. Love that.
Who do you think it is?
Well, I don't know. But it must be someone whose switch got flicked once too often.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. Somebody flicks your switch, you have to put an end to it.
But Josh, the Blackboard Phantom has to realize how frightened we all are. Education stops. That's not right.
Well, all those frightened people need to realize how frightening it is to be pushed around like a school joke. Life stops. I feel empty, like a balloon, all puffed up and big enough for everybody to see. But empty. So empty. A balloon in a world where everything is pointed, jagged, and sharp. A word is a needle. A look, broken glass. And a laugh, oh, especially a laugh, is a razor. I go.
You make your face a mask.
A mask that hides your face.
A face that hides the pain. A face that eats your heart.
Apart, nobody knows. Hi, Josh.
Hey,
Can I speak with you in my office?
sure.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Anything you want to tell me, Josh?
Didn't you call me in here?
I was hoping you'd come to your senses and have something you'd want to say to me.
Oh yeah, great hair.
I admire your poker face, but to your credit, you're not a very good liar.
I never claimed to be an expert.
What can you tell me about the words on the blackboard?
Nothing.
We know for a fact you're the Blackboard Phantom, Josh.
How can you know that? Because I'm not.
We have a snitch.
No.
You.
What?
We compared the writing on the blackboard to your last essay in Lea. It's a perfect match. Have anything you want to say now?
What a remarkable coincidence.
Violence or even the threat of violence are no tolerance policy. I have no choice but to expel you for the rest of the year. I'll inform your parents you have to complete the grade again unless you complete all your courses in summer school.
I won't go! I won't go!
Gosh, it won't be that bad.
In a hot class all day while other kids get to do what they want and study on summer nights.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you wrote on the blackboard.
You know what they call me in school, Dad? Josh the Joke. If somebody gives you a nickname, it's super glued to your forehead. For forever. I had to shut them up. Why can't you see that?
You can't threaten people.
It wasn't real, Dad. It was just shut up and leave me alone.
If you wrote "shut up" and "leave me alone" on a blackboard, you wouldn't be in trouble now, would you? School can't.
You can't help what others think of you.
And what your mother means is you care too much about what others think of you. You are in school to get an education, not to be popular. And you threw away an education for what? To blow off a little steam. So bite the bullet. Be a man.
I wouldn't have exactly said it like that.
My life is over.
Nice. You got them worried? More.
I'd rather be dead. shut them up.
There's only one way, Josh.
Ow. Boom! What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Boom. No more pain.
That's dumb.
You said it before, Josh. Your life is over.
Oh, man.
Punish them. Do it in the living room. Leave your brains on the wall for your parents to see.
That's really dumb.
You know what's dumb, Josh? Going back to that school. Do you know what they're saying about you?
Hear about Josh and Joe.
Well, every time you come to some Josh, we go and plug it along.
I'll always be a laughing stock.
Always Josh the joke! Oh, and imagine you do summer school. Imagine the day you come back. Imagine riding the bus. Imagine the looks. Imagine you walk the halls. Imagine the words.
Loser.
They will whittle you down to dust.
It will never end.
Never, Josh. Stop the voices. Boom!
Does it hurt?
Oh, you'll never feel a thing.
Sometimes it hurts too much to be alive. But I'm afraid to be dead.
Do you want to be Josh the joke forever? They will call you a coward. They'll never let you live it down. Never.
Not even that, they won't even let me have that in peace.
The deck is stacked against you, Josh.
Not even that.
You'll never be anything but a fool in their eyes.
They'll still mock me, even when I'm dead. They'll stop like just put me out of my misery.
Paducah, Jonesboro, Springfield, Columbine,
Show who's you are.
Virginia
The whole
Tech,
school would stand in
Harvey,
awe. You'd be a legend for years to come.
Sandy Hook,
They'll write books about you. They'll make movies about you.
Santa Fe.
It's almost lunchtime. They'll all be in the cafeteria now. Scene of the crime.
I can see him sitting there,
Imagine their faces when you walk in.
totally surprised.
Heart attack time.
Big,
Bigger than big.
immense,
Gigantic.
colossal.
Measureless.
Imagine their faces.
A rifle in your hand. Instant respect.
Love that feeling.
Love it. Crave it. Need it.
Gotta have it. Ever since I could hold up.
Handgun.
Water gun, air gun, pump gun,
BB gun.
12
22.
38,
45.
gun makes you feel alive.
Watch out.
Move aside.
Nobody can touch
You
you.
have a gun.
Nobody mocks
You
you.
have a gun. You have a gun.
People talk nice.
You have a gun.
People look at you like a VIP.
Somebody bumps you, they say, excuse me.
You walk different.
You have a gun.
You talk
When you
different.
have a gun, you think different.
When you have a gun,
It's an A plus.
slam dunk,
Touchdown.
put down.
All in one.
You can be whatever you want to be.
Because a gun in your hand is a PhD.
Take them all down with you. And put this town on the map.
That's a wrap.
Hey Josh, you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
The voices in your head, Josh. They're not laughing anymore!
Josh, are you home?
Home early because you didn't keep the appointment.
Psychotherapist.
They will stop you.
No.
Back to school.
No.
Josh, Josh!
Josh, why are you home early? The therapist called and said you never showed.
No!
So you make your face a mask.
Mask that hides your face.
A face that hides the pain.
Pain that eats your heart. A heart nobody knows.
Bang!
Josh, what are you doing?
I love you, Mom.
Josh!
Bang!
Who did this?
You.
No.
Don't think about it. Move, 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 or you will check it out!
reached a verdict.
We have, Your Honor.
That's my jury. Do you have to do that, Mom? Message received, okay? I remember you used to sing that to me when I couldn't sleep. Thank you for the pain. Do you have to do that, Dad? Message received. Okay. I remember you taught me the outfielder's glove. I caught a high fly in the Little League Championship. You carried me off the field. You carried me. When did that end? How did it stop? You didn't understand. I was a joke at school and a joke at home. I wanted to kill you. I didn't want you dead. Why is it so easy to talk to you now?
The foreman will now read the jury's verdict.
Big surprise this is going to be.
We, the jury, find the defendant.
I've reached a verdict too, Your Honor. There are put-down artists who will trash you just to be noticed by other kids. There are kids who hurt so bad inside, they need to make somebody else hurt. There are kids who would do anything to see people bleed, cry, trip, fall, fail, just for laughs. And the teachers don't see it, parents don't see it, nobody sees it. Answer me this. Will there be a trial for them too? Answer me this. Will there be a trial for them too?
The foreman will now read the sentence. We, the jury, sentence the defendant to life imprisonment without possibility.
Without possibility of what?
Without possibility.
Without possibility of what?
Without possibility.
I don't know what that means.
You'll never achieve your dreams.
Never skydive.
Never scuba off Australia.
Never explore a volcano. Never fly a helicopter.
Never be a sportscaster.
Never ski again.
Never body surf.
Never meet new people. Never know what you could have been.
Done.
Seen.
Had.
Known. Loved. In your lifetime.
Now you'll never know all the happiness that might have been yours.
Through the bars of your cell, you'll see that Josh you might have been.
And wondering would be your pain.
That painful eve of blossom of your youth, you'll be as dead as we are. You know what I hate about being dead? You can't call up and order a pizza.
Pepperoni.
Extra cheese. Pineapple.
Deep dish. Buffalo chickens, cheesesteaks.
Some steak and hoagie.
With wings.
French and blue cheese. Triple chocolate milkshakes.
Chocolate chip cookies.
With milk.
Cold milk.
So many things to miss. You could never name them all.
Never. I miss cruising. Windows down, radio up.
I miss lying on my bed in the dark, falling asleep to my favorite playlist.
I miss the adrenaline rush you get skateboarding down a steep slope.
I miss when the guy gets that look in his eye, and you know he's gonna ask you out. But then he says, "Can I copy your homework?"
I miss when she answers before you even finish
I'd love
asking.
to.
And I miss watching home videos from when I was a kid.
I miss an audience's applause. I miss opening night.
I miss tossing the football with my dad.
I miss getting ready for a party.
I miss hanging out with the guys.
I miss going to go shopping. I miss when you take a new pair of jeans into the dressing room, and they fit perfect.
I miss dinner dates at Romeo's.
I miss stuffing my face with Halloween candy.
I miss eating my mom's home-cooked food.
I miss reading new books. I miss waking up to a really sweet
Or a
text.
Snapchat that doesn't say streaks.
I miss online shopping for hours on end.
I miss staying up till 4 in the
I
morning.
miss sleeping in. I miss cold pillows.
And warm blankets.
I miss waking up to a snow day.
I miss taking a 10-minute nap that lasts 5 hours.
I miss passing a test I thought I failed. I miss my dog when I come home from school.
I miss spending summers at the beach.
I miss my morning Dunkin' runs.
I miss rushing out of school for summer vacation.
I miss falling asleep on FaceTime. I miss summer nights.
I miss watching the sky going from light to dark.
From dark to light.
I miss listening to new songs.
I miss dancing in the mirror. And singing in the shower.
And pretending I'm in concert. Green Day.
Post Malone.
J. Cole! I miss binge watching my favorite Netflix show.
I miss going out with my best friends.
I miss gaming with the guys.
I miss making my brother laugh so hard he can hardly breathe.
I miss laughing so hard I start to cry.
I miss walking around in the city.
I miss
thought I was taking all of that away. Never.
Never? What do you know about never? I'll never do all I wanted to do.
Never! I'll never achieve my dreams.
Never.
I'll never see all I wanted to see.
Never! I'll never know all I wanted to know. Never! Not ever. I'll never be a parent.
I'll never coach my son's team.
I'll never have a chance to be a better person.
I'll never marry my high school sweetheart. I'll never go to college and have a double major.
I'll never make a marriage work.
And give love.
And get
I'll
love.
never name my family dog. I'll never be proposed to.
I'll never have a bachelor party.
I'll never have a honeymoon.
I'll never have a movie night with my kids.
I'll never give people a reason to remember my name. I'll never make Christmas cookies with my daughter.
I'll never meet my son.
Or travel the world.
Or see the Dead Sea.
I'll never have children. I'll never see my
I'll
limits.
really know myself.
I'll never be a doctor.
I'll never graduate high school.
I'll never find a job I really love. I'll never make a difference.
I'll never vote.
I'll never find the perfect prom dress.
I'll never live out on my
I'll
own.
never write a book. I'll never see Milan.
Or Amsterdam.
Or Paris.
Or Tokyo.
Dad?
Miss my son.
I miss the kid I used to know.
Miss picking him up from a game.
Or driving him to Saturday practice at 7 a.m.
To school because he missed the bus.
There are so many things that we will miss. But what's so much worse are the things that we'll never get to do.
I'm sorry.
Never create new memories.
Or move on from the ones that we're left with.
Never watch you grow up.
I'll never send you to college.
Never secretly cry at your wedding.
I'll never take care of my grandkids.
Never say goodbye to grandma.
I'll never be able to fix my marriage.
Never be able to fix amends with my wife.
You'll never learn from our mistakes.
Never be able to fix your own.
So we'll never see you at your best.
I'll only remember you at your worst.
It was just a fantasy. Like a video game. In my mind, I thought I could hit reset and bring you back to life. The game is over. There's nothing I can do. It's over. Okay?
Over for us, Josh.
But just stop and reset for you.
Every day of your life.
See us with a big screen in your head, and you'll see us over.
And over.
And over.
Again.
And again, just as you saw us in the cafeteria.
Dead!
Dead! Dead! Dead!
Didn't know it would be forever. Thought it was just bang bang, you're dead again. Is this the rest of my life? Oh God.
Thank you to all of you for coming and for seeing this show. Before you leave, after every performance, we do a debrief of the show. This is something we do just so we can start a conversation about the message of this show and about what we can do to prevent something like this from happening. First, let's introduce ourselves and the characters we play.
Hi, my name is Rosie. I'm a junior this year, and I've been in the show for the past 3 years. This year I was the assistant director as well as the stage manager, and I played the prosecutor.
Hello everybody, my name is Raymond. I'm a sophomore here at North. This is my first year in Bang Bang. I play the grandfather, the father, and the public defender.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm a senior. This is my first year in Bang Bang, and I play the principal and the judge.
Hi, I'm Tara. This is my 3rd year in Bang Bang, and I played the mom, the foreman, and the con. Hi, I'm Hana. This is my 3rd year in Bang Bang. I'm a senior, and I played Emily.
I'm Josh. I'm a junior. This is my 2nd year in Bang Bang, and I play Josh.
I'm Seth. This is my 3rd year in Bang Bang. I played the Shadow, and I was also the director of my music.
I'm Grace. I'm a junior. I played Jessie. This is my 2nd year in Bang Bang.
I'm Max. I'm a sophomore. I played Michael, and this is my first year at Bang Bang.
I'm Olivia. I'm a sophomore. I played Katie, and this is my 1st year in Bang Bang.
I'm Lea. I'm a sophomore. This is my first year in Bang Bang, and I played Matt.
what we'll do now, if you have any questions for any of the characters, anything, if you have any questions why they did certain things or about who they are, you can ask us now, and we'll answer in character.
Yes,
Josh, I was wondering, what do you think could have changed if you went to a psychiatrist?
Nothing. I was over the edge. I don't care. It was done. Those people, it wouldn't stop. It had to be done.
And the reason why it wouldn't have worked is because you didn't want to go. And something like that would only have worked if Josh was willing to get help. Yes.
For Emily, why did you say what happened before Josh died?
Okay, so I was Josh's childhood friend, and as we grew up, we grew apart, and it was mainly because I stopped listening to him and stopped understanding him and stopped trying to understand him. So at the end, I say what happened because I genuinely don't know like how we got to the place that we did where he wants to kill me.
I think this one's for the teacher. How come nobody at the school knew that he was being bullied? It seems like it was like a news flash. Only they knew when they saw on the board that he had several.
Right. So, as the principal, it is my job to understand my student body and be aware of what is going on within my school. However, I do also need the help of my students. And so if one student is being singled out, and as a student body, we are not able to pick that up and like communicate that with the rest of the whoever's, with me or with any of the teachers, it's hard to find those people because they'll be those childhood friends. They'll be the people that you've known your entire life. And something can happen in an instant where there's a change. And so, there could be a message like that which just appears, and we're not always going to know where it comes from. It can't only be my job as the principal, but it needs to be the entire student body as well.
Well, I was just going to say, there also, Emily was a person that Josh attempted to reach out to, but a lot of times when he said he felt like he was being singled out, she would say, no, Josh, you're fine, no one's laughing at you, it's not that big of a deal. So I think that was another reason why Josh kind of, maybe didn't realize the severity of how much what other people were giving his impact. And it just kind of held in his own head.
Something Emily could have done to, she could have informed an adult. She could have told a trusted teacher, or if you trust a guidance counselor, she could have told his family. But no one reached out to any adult, so that's why the principal had no idea.
There were also people like me, another bystander, who clearly knew that Josh was being bullied and was also a loser kid being bullied, but didn't do anything to let it happen.
So, question for Josh. So when you come home and your parents, they know that you've been suspended from school or kicked out of school, you seem like you feel the response that they have alienates you. So even though your mother says to you, we'll be by your side and we'll help you, so what do you think a parent can do in a situation like that to make you feel like you're not alone?
I don't know.
I would say it's
Look. I don't know. I think at that. Okay, so I won't. I had a thing.
Okay. Well, I think that one of
think that that's definitely one part of how parents had a really big impact on Josh, because it made him feel singled out, and it made him feel like there wasn't really anyone in the school that would support him or that he could turn to.
Often parents are the first line of support, and you don't have it, right? It's often very hard for somebody like Josh, who's gone over the edge, to come back to a state of peace, right? We're only in school for 6 hours a day. The rest of the 18 hours are spent at home usually. So the parents don't have a stable and supportive relationship, mutual relationship with their children. It's often very hard for them to understand what's going through their children's minds. So as parents, I made the mistake of caring about the materialistic side of Josh's education. I didn't really care about his emotions. I didn't really pick up on them. So if I were in a group, I would definitely do that. I would talk more with him, spend more person-to-person interactions with him, to really understand him as he's growing up.
So all the...
Wait, no. I also think that just the issue was that my parents weren't talking to me before. They weren't understanding me before. They only cared. I mean, my mother cared, but my father would just push grades in my head every single day. They didn't care about me until there was an issue. So I don't know if at that point there could have been anything that would have said that would have set me right, but they've done something before that would definitely be me.
All the adults in the show really failed Josh. Really failed Josh in a number of ways. Because the reality is, even when the parents would receive a signal from the principal, who acted more so in the interest of the student body rather than Josh, even with that signal of getting psychiatric help, Josh's dad was like, hey, you have to do this to get back into school, not because it's good for you, but because it's a requirement. And that failure on part of the adults and not recognizing your children, not acknowledging that there's something deeply wrong with your child is really what led to his sort of decline as an individual.
Do we have a couple questions first?
Yay.
So we see it's a process, and there's some elements, and sometimes you neglect it because everybody is a little bit in their own world, and everybody has to face their own problems, parents, friends, teachers. So let's assume at a certain point everybody realized there's a problem. What do you think should have happened before it was too late, before a psychologist should step in? So who could have helped and avoid that climax?
So I think it's like how Brendan was saying, or the dad was saying, it definitely starts at home. It's important to have a really good relationship with your child and know them, because you're the ones who raised them. You know them best. And so as long as you're having that strong relationship with your child, you should know something's up. And if you think that it's something that you yourself cannot help, it is beyond you at that point, they should get help. They should go to a psychotherapist, a psychiatric help, something that can help that and confront that problem sooner. We have school guidance counselors, so even if it's something that it's, money's an issue, there are resources that we have available that, people who can talk to the child as well. That you can advise the school about, be like, hey, I think somebody should talk to them, they're not talking to me, and just to get that help. Because the sooner that it's addressed, the more the likelihood is of fixing it.
Yeah?
Do you think, Josh, if your parents took the time out to go with you to your event, do you think that would have changed your mindset? Would you have thought that your parents would have stood behind you and supported you?
It's definitely possible. I mean, they both, by not going, they showed that they had more important things to do than what their son. And yeah, maybe if they had, that could have changed something. But I definitely think that there is one more step that I would have had to take, and I would have had to accept the therapy. Instead, that would have been phenomenal, but there's just that one more thing.
Yes, Joe, you had a question.
sophomores and juniors in high school.
16, 17.
Yeah, wait. You have but yeah, most of them are juniors. We have 2 seniors and 2 sophomores. So yeah. So we don't have any freshmen in as like none of them are freshmen, but they're all in high school. Yes.
I heard somebody talk about a bystander versus the upstander, so I'd like to get the bully's perspective on what they could have done differently and be an upstander or a bystander. Right? Sorry.
Yes, the thing about my character is that really Emily is the character that is the most moral support for Josh, and they've been childhood friends forever. And in the one scene with the homework assignment, I want to spend time with Emily, and really in that scene I get really mad at Josh for not doing the assignment and for kind of causing that free time with Emily, the only time I have in the week, to go away. And that's really where myself as a character tries to isolate Josh and really gets really mad at Josh. And at this point, Josh was about to pretty much tell Emily what was going on and was trying to talk to her. And I come in so mad and isolate him because he's spending too much time with my girlfriend. And really, I think at that point, that's one of the main reasons why Josh goes over the edge. I interrupt that last moment he has of sanity, that last moment where he's trying to communicate with someone. So, as Michael, instead of, I guess, getting mad at Josh immediately and kind of not really looking past just kind of having that, losing that free time, something should have changed. I should have at least let them continue talking or discussing or have some kind of communication.
I think I could have done something differently as well, because I was so focused and driven towards my studies, and I had no time, or at least I didn't want to invest any time in anyone else. And that lack of compassion was also seen by like other people. Like when I was helping Matt, like I was there, but I wasn't really caring. And I think that's an important thing that other people can do, like to help people like Josh, because they need to see that people are there for them.
Kind of a question for everyone. I'm not quite sure who's that, but you guys had mentioned before that part of the reason going to the psychologist didn't help was because Josh didn't want to help. What is something that you could do for somebody who doesn't, someone who needs the help, someone who's in a bad state but doesn't want to accept it? What would you do?
Josh, he's right. If he doesn't want to accept help from anyone, that would be a very, very different situation to be thrown into. I think it's if you get to that point, you really need to kind of have a group of people that you like, who you trust, people that you can tell about the situation, because then it can kind of need help from all angles. Because if he's already gotten to that point, this would be right when he's with his parents, right? Like he's already told them he hates them, he doesn't want to go to therapists, he's not going to accept their help, they don't even want to help him. He's in a place of denial, and it's at that moment where you really have a very small time to act before it's too late. So you just have to get help from a lot of different areas.
I also think that just being a friend and being there, been rude to, but that friend wouldn't give up and wouldn't stop being his friend no matter what. And he said that was the reason that he didn't go to school, or he didn't. That's how I felt during my trial.
Because all is showing kind of the mindset that Josh is in. This shows like how he's doing, and it's really he's doing poorly, and that's what those scenes really do show.
And going off of that, like that's why the line, like the jury's verdict is repeated so many times and it's said right at the beginning, because in Josh's eyes, the trial was basically decided from the beginning.
It's like in A Christmas Carol how Scrooge is like trying to interact with his past.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
So, I would first just like to congratulate each of you because I think that I sit here and I know that all the parents will agree with me, but I sit here raised in a time where we never had to think about this. Never. And the worst might have been a tornado drill or some sort of natural act. And to think that you regularly have to think about this and go through drills and show the kind of sensitivity for emotional wellness and emotional health that you have grown at your age is just stunning. It really is stunning that I don't think anyone in my generation had ever had to do this. Okay, so I think it's remarkable that you show that level of sensitivity. And it makes me good as a college professor knowing you'll be coming and that they know that they'll be out there. Okay, but with that said, one thing I have not heard yet, and I think is worth saying, and Marjorie Stoneman would say this, is that the accessibility to guns, other countries do not have to see this. And so it's almost like you accept it. We just have to put up with it. And I would like to hear your thoughts on did the guns even have to be in the picture? The hunting that led to, how did Josh get a gun?
Yeah,
so what is your thoughts on that?
We had a discussion at the very, very beginning of this rehearsal process. Yes, of course, guns are very easily accessible, and that is part of the problem. But the show is geared towards more of the bullying aspect, because people have been trying to fight guns for many, many years now, and it's constantly been unsuccessful. So this show tries to kind of go at it from a different perspective, right? The show kind of says, let the people who want guns have their guns. That's the Second Amendment. Go ahead, do your thing. But what the show is really trying to point out is that it's much more than just that. It's everything that's going on around us. It's the people. It's everyone. Everyone in the whole school. Everyone, like his family. Everyone that exists was a part of the reason why this happened and why Josh committed such a crime. And the show really tries to focus on more of the bullying aspect of that, because that's something we can control right now. Right now we can say, let's not talk trash about this person, and let's just let them be. Of course, there's going to be people that you don't like, and that is okay. I know. There's people that you don't like, and that's normal. That everyone, there's always someone that you don't like, and there's people you don't get along with, people you don't click with. But that doesn't mean that you have to be mean to them or rude to them. Yes, just respect them. It really, when you see someone that you don't like, instead of turning to your friend and saying something mean about them, just smile at them and then let them be.
Because you don't know what they've been through. Like, you don't know how their day was. Like, you could, like, you talking about them behind their back into their face could have been, like, the last thing that would set them off to do anything. And, or, like, it also just starts a cycle. Like, they might get hurt at home. You don't know what they've been through their whole life. Just don't be rude.
Yeah, and while you think you might be, like, funny, or, like, even if you don't think it's going to hurt them, you might just think you're funny, but it feels so much better just to smile at them, or just to say hi, or just, like, be nice to them. It feels so much better than being rude, because you just feel bad about that afterwards. Yeah, sorry.
Throughout the whole show, it showed that Josh was by himself. He didn't have any type of friendships that lasted, except for Emily that grew apart. Do you think that if he had one friend
I mean, yeah. I mean, one point part in the show he says, like, friend, we're all your friends, he's referring to his shadow, which is really just him. And like, that is the only person he has left. And I think that if I were there for him, or if one of his parents, took the time to just ask, like, how are you really doing, and have that conversation, I think that it wouldn't have resulted in this.
And also the other people that were the students,
Yeah.
if one of them saw Josh differently, would that have made an impact, or would they think of treating him as a friend, not bully?
Yeah, I mean, like, even people who didn't know him that ended up being victims, they saw what was going on. I think one of Matt's lines is like, I saw what was going on, like, it sucked, but, like, they didn't do anything about it. And, like, just to, like, even if you don't know someone, but you see they're having a bad day, you can just ask them how their day's going and, like, get that information. And, like, I don't know, I just feel like having just a conversation with someone, even if you don't necessarily spend time with them or talk to them, like, that can go a long way.
But at the same time, that is true, very true. But at the same time, when Ted read the paper about all the school shootings, there was one, I forget the location of it, but he was on the football team, captain of the football team, great grades, and like all this, like valedictory and all that. But like say, but like you can be really popular and still have a lot of problems. You still do this kind of thing. So it all has like a lot of it has to do with like every little thing you do. So like you're not always going to be with people. A lot of the times you're your own like best friend. That's why he relies on your shadow so much. And this whole play is in his mind. And when you see us like talking, Emily talking and then watching the flashbacks. So it is true that like a friend, like a real friend, could have helped the situation, but at the same time there are possibilities of people being popular and having great friends and still having.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys as actors, not as your characters. So this is clearly a very powerful, moving show. Was there like any specific like mental or emotional process that you used to beyond yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, doing shows like this is probably the closest thing that you come to like the curiosity of what would it actually be like if you were in that scenario without putting anyone in danger. And so just having to do that already makes it so real. And you come to realize how real a situation like this is and how it can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. The amount of, threats that go unheard, or even just jokes in the hallway between friends. You hear other people being like, oh, I don't want to go to this class today, I want to kill myself, kind of thing, right? And people know it's not serious, but there's going to be that one person who's serious. And so like the amount of processing that you have to do just to like figure out the character, like Josh can tell you about it for sure, like for having to play his character, is insane.
Yeah. Very early, we started this rehearsal process in June of 2018. So we've been at this show for a long, long time. And we have regular rehearsals once a week. Very early in the process, and Rosie can feedback after this too, if you'd like to get anything to say. We started, Rosie and I, we had a conversation. We both decided that we need to figure out who these characters are before we introduce, before we really try to act them, right? So there was a lot of character work that we did. We would sit down and not like practice any of like the scenes. We would just read the script and dissect each of the lines and really look at what they mean and how they contribute to this character or how they contribute to the other characters. And yeah, we started very early, and it makes the actual show a lot easier to get through as an actor, because it's not as emotionally draining, because we are ready and we go at it more as like from a teaching aspect than from a we are now this character and I am now shooting these people. It's more about, if you keep the message in mind, it's much, much easier to go through something like this.
So from an acting perspective, for the past 15 years, we have been doing the same show. And that, it doesn't become sort of an educational experience for the actors themselves. It doesn't push you, because what ends up happening when you do a show over and over again
because it's just like to put yourself into that position, especially since it's so real in this country. It's like something that, you know, it's not just a show, it's something that's real. Like this is something that people have gone through, and it's to put yourself in that position. It takes a lot, and it's also like a really rewarding experience to be able to kind of experience like, okay, no, that's not what I mean, but you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, like, you know what I say, like.
I think what you mean is just very rewarding to be able to do justice to these characters, because these characters are always something. And it's really important that we're able to play these roles properly. That's why we do all the sit-down work before and go through the script. If anyone has any last questions, we'll take like one more, and then we'll finish up.
Karen?
Yes, this is just, I guess, to the students in general, why do you think that the students throughout the play never seemed to realize that what they were saying was hurting Josh? Someone would complain, they'd go, oh, they're not laughing at you. Like, why were they so ignorant of what they were actually doing?
So, as you said before, the whole play consists of like being in Josh's mind, so it's like his memories and everything. So, we talked about this in a rehearsal one time, that it's the way he perceives how he's being listened to. So everything, although that might not be how it actually like happened, every little thing, if someone didn't listen to him, he would like, for like a second, he might perceive it as them just not caring at all. So like a little goes a long way in both ways. So even if like, I don't know, it's just, someone else.
Yeah, so since all of the show takes place in his memories, some of the events that occurred are more based in what happened than what actually happened. Like they're slightly warped through his perspective.
Yeah, and I also think that if you ask any of the dead kids, really, I guess their specific ideas on how they treated Josh, or even how like they think Josh, they think about the ways in which Josh perceived them. Honestly, you get a different answer from everyone, but there'd still be, I guess there would still be a sense of bullying in some way. There would still be an effect on Josh, no matter what. Even if it wasn't as big as Josh thinks it was, based off his memories, there's still going to be something that sparks that.
Yeah, regardless, like Chris just said, a little goes a long way. Yeah, in both ways. Yeah.
And this play can be perceived in so many different ways. You can dive deep in any which way you want, whether it be like Josh's mental like stuff, or like how people like bullying, gun laws, all that. You can dive deep in any kind of problem stuff there is.
Yeah. Okay. So again, thank you for coming.
Great job.
Great job.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate that you came out to see the show. And before, like when you're leaving, when you're going home, when you're at home, and for the next couple of days, keep the question in mind: what can we do